Why put off until tomorrow what should be done today, right now? Whoever said that tomorrow is even a thing, that it's a guarantee, or even a possibility? Good morning, and welcome to this week's Lively Bible Encounter entitled, Get Right, Right Now. I was watching a movie some time ago, and it keeps coming back to me. And in that movie, as there was this married couple, and they began having this spout, an argument, if you will. And at the end of that is they both walked away rather angry. And so whenever the husband got to the gym with his workout buddy, his partner, his friend, his friend could see that there was something off about this other guy. And so he brought it up, asking him questions like, hey, what's going on? Hey, I see that something's different about you, that something's just not easy. And so as he began to tell him, by the end of the story is he asked him, he said, well, what did you do to resolve the issue? And in simple terms, he told his friend that, I'll take care of it later. That I plan on calling later, or I'll wait until I get home, something along those lines. And his friend asked him that same question that we opened with is, who told you that you have later? There's many things in life that need to be taken care of right now. And your relationship, especially with your spouse, is one of those things. Even more than that is your relationship with Christ, because later is not a guarantee. And so it brings me into where life meets Bible this week. And the first of two passages that came to mind was Romans 3:23, and we read the words as our reminder. We read, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." And so as our reminder this morning, it's that we always, to some degree, to some extent, fall short. That we're not alone in the middle of that. Is knowing that whenever we look left or we look right to whoever our neighbor might be, is that they too have had some struggle. That they have indeed fell short of the glory of God. The greatness in that is the following words that continue after that. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified by His grace as a gift through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus. And this is an acknowledgement to the fallen state of humanity and the need for God's grace and forgiveness upon our life. And then the second passage that came to mind was Deuteronomy 6:5, is that you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, meaning with your entire being. And that is indeed the foundation to a relationship. Whether that relationship is with your significant other, whether it's with Christ, whether it's with kids, your neighbor, is that we give it 100%. That whenever we wake up is that we make that conscious decision, hey, I'm going to love you today. And especially with Christ, as we wake up every day and saying, Lord, I'm going to love you today. What can I do to build upon this relationship? And even more is that we would look back with a little bit of hindsight. Hindsight being 20/20, it's a little bit more clear, right? And so we look back into those things and say, Lord, what can I do to make these things right? And also acknowledging that the closer that we grow in our relationship is even more so is that we see the sin that's left in our life. Because we're becoming more perfect in Him. And so we become a little bit more nitpicky as to, okay, now here's this other thing. And we can begin to fine tune our relationship. And whenever I get into all of that is I'm also led into the thought of the difference between heaven and Christ. You see, because I believe that a lot of us, our end goal is that we just get to heaven. But in all actuality, heaven is the byproduct of receiving Christ, to having a right relationship with Christ. And so I want to encourage you this morning that you work solely on your relationship with Christ and making things right now. that the thought of being right for heaven, but rather we should be asking if I'm ready for the Lord, to be in a right relationship with Him as the bride and the bridegroom. That we want to get all these things out in the open air and cleared up before it's too late, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so I would ask you this morning, is your relationship right with God? Or is there that one thing that you keep putting off and saying, I'll take care of it later? How about instead of taking care of later, what we can take care of right now, how about we change the script? How about we change our perspective and begin to say, why put off until tomorrow what I can get done right now? How about we make an agreement right now and that we come to Christ and say, Lord, show me. Let me hear the things that I need to make right. And maybe you already know what needs to be made right. Bring those things to Him. Forgiveness is a simple idea of receiving grace. That you would believe in Him and just say, Lord, please forgive me. And then not keep going back to the same thing, to the same person. That we would grow in this relationship of I used to. And so I'm going to close on this note. Why put off until tomorrow what you can get done today? Is your relationship right with God? And if it's not, pray to Him. Make things right. Have communication. Call Him up right now. Take to your knees. Lord, help me. Father, forgive me. Sometimes we don't know what we do. As Christ said on the cross, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And maybe that's your prayer this morning. Lord, forgive me, for I had no idea what I was doing. But I do now. And I know that I need to make things right with you. If you need help praying, if you need a specific prayer, reach out. Put something in the comments saying, prayer, pray for me, or even a period, whatever it might be, and we will be praying for you all day long. We'll pray through you throughout the entire week. And if you don't want somebody else to know that you're needing prayer, send me a private message, give me a phone call, send me a text message anonymously if you want to. Let me pray for you this morning. And like every other week, I thank you for joining me this week on Lively Bible Encounters.